must ensure that we start looking at this prospect of increasing the efficiency of our overall generation mix if we are to come out with better environmental outcomes for the power sector as a whole. Coal-based power generation is the mainstay of India's electricity sector. However, it also contributes to about 13% of India's particulate matter pollution and 40% of India's greenhouse gas emissions. India's ambitious climate mitigation goals are premised on us weaning our dependence away from coal-based generation.
So Karthik, do we need to actively see out these thermal power plants and what role they will play with RE becoming cheaper day by day?
So renewable energy is definitely getting cheaper, but it's not available throughout the day and throughout the year. It's not reliable. So when you add storage to make it reliable, coal starts becoming more competitive. So what this means is, in the interim, coal-based generation in India is only going to grow up in absolute terms. We see this happening probably through till 2030, and only in the next decade will it actually absolutely start declining. So which means that in the interim, they will remain a financial burden for many utilities, continue to sort of pollute the air, generate fly ash, and be a cause for environmental concern. And as a result, we need to sort of actively work on how do we reduce the fallout from thermal power plants and not rely entirely on renewable energy doing it for us in this decade.
So I have also heard that you are coming up with an optimization study on coal power plants. What are the major findings and how the coal fleets could operate over the next decade or so?
So, right now our thermal fleet is operating at a PLF of about 58% and at thermal efficiency, which is abysmal, at about 29%. And ultimately, efficiency is the biggest metric for how much carbon you put out there. In India, power plants get dispatched based on, the cheapest power plant gets to generate the most. Unfortunately, the cheapest power plant in India is not necessarily the most efficient because, the way coal is priced and allocated. So we basically did a study where we said, if you were to prioritize energy efficiency, how would that dispatch look like? When we did that, we found that the system is able to cater to our current needs at a cost that is 9,000 crores less and consumes 42 million tons of coal less, as a result emitting less greenhouse gases, pollutants, and fly ash. And ultimately, we also find that about 50 gigawatt worth of capacity is really surplus to our needs, which can actively be decommissioned or mothballed. Coal-based generation does increase in its absolute, scale over the course of a decade. But even after we decommission these 50, we must remember that we have newer, efficient plants coming in to the generation fleet. And if we use those, right, even with the leaner system, what we see is that we'll be able to cater to the needs of the country over the course of the rest of this decade. Now, this analysis is not definitive. There's definitely more need for us to explore this in more detail. The authorities could take it up, but we must ensure that we start looking at this prospect of increasing the efficiency of our overall generation mix if we are to come out with better environmental outcomes for the power sector as a whole. So, Vaibhav, I see that you also are looking at a study which looks at what is it going to take financially, right, to decommission some of these assets, and that's of course a big barrier. So, can you take us through some of the findings from your assessment?
Interestingly, we had a chance to analyze around 130 plants out there in India, or roughly 45% of the capacity. And we found that decommissioning is not a cheap business. On an average, it would cost around 4 crores per megawatt to pay off the debt holders, the equity holders, and including the workforce. But interestingly, what we found is that if only older plants are to be considered, let's say 25 years and above, within the sample we had around 35 gigawatts worth of plants in the sample, and the cost come down to around 1 crore per megawatt, where 0.6 crores of per megawatt is to be paid off towards the debt and the equity holders, and the remaining 0.4 crore per megawatt has to be paid off to these workforce, and this could help make the transition just as well. So roughly for 35 gigawatts of older assets, it would cost around $3 billion to pay off the debt and the equity holders, and towards these workforce around another $1.5 billion. So roughly $4.5 billion. One of the important things that we found with plants that were older than 40 years, they had huge fixed O&M cost associated with them. So there could be a potentially, if we pay off them today, those charges won't have to be paid, and you could save around 40% to 60% on these capacity charges.
I would say it has to be done starting anytime soon because there is money on the table. We found through this discussion that both on a variable cost basis as well as on a fixed cost basis, there are savings to be had. In fact, decommissioning of these assets can effectively be paid for in 5 to 6 years' time just by what we save. But the problem is that the benefits are at a system and at an India level, really, whereas many states stand to lose in the process in the way, for instance, power is allocated to them. And this needs to be addressed in a concerted manner.